On today's episode, Elon's most important update yet, Megafactory 3 is coming soon, and so are new Tesla vehicles, but what will they be? Tesla's full self-driving has officially gone unsupervised. That's what Elon Musk has just revealed, and that means progress on Tesla's autonomous AI is moving faster than most people would believe. There have been thousands of Tesla vehicles driving themselves over thousands of miles, day in and day out, with no human beings involved. This is not speculation anymore. This is real. For now, unsupervised autonomy is still being done outside of the public eye, but that's all about to change in a very big way. Driverless Teslas are coming to the streets of America this year, and soon after, the world. But even though the company has finally cleared some long-standing technical hurdles, that doesn't mean it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. First off, here's Elon himself on what he expects will happen. 2025 is a pivotal year for Tesla. When people look back on 2025 and the launch of unsupervised FSD, they may regard it as the biggest year in Tesla's history. It will be regarded as the most important year in Tesla's history. The reason being that this is the year Elon says they will finally crack FSD and launch on the streets, in some capacity at least. Elon says, "I think we'll have unsupervised FSD in almost every US market by the end of this year, limited only by regulatory issues. I'm confident we will release unsupervised FSD in California this year and maybe other regions of the US this year too." Elon also says Tesla will be launching unsupervised FSD first as a paid service in Austin, Texas in June, confirming there will be no one in the car, full service. This makes sense as we've already heard that this has been low-key tested on the streets with Tesla employees as the riders. But this service will also not be exclusive to Tesla-owned vehicles. Elon says we'll be able to add or subtract our car from the robotaxi fleet in 2026, working kind of like Airbnb. So yes, if Tesla is actually launching in most US markets by the end of this year, it would indeed become the most important year in Tesla's history. And since Elon is so confident, it leaves us wondering, where are we at with FSD today? Now, without commenting on the actual performance of different FSD versions and experiences, you can find enough of those ranging from both bad to mind-blowingly good. Let's see the scale we're at today. In Q4 2024, Tesla owners cumulatively drove an average of around 9.8 million miles per day using supervised FSD, the highest daily average in the company's history. By the end of 2024, Tesla has reached nearly 3 billion miles driven on FSD. Elon, of course, says the only people who are skeptical of FSD are the ones who haven't tried it. But what is holding Tesla back from launching right this moment then? Elon Musk compared Tesla's approach to self-driving to dipping a toe in the water, starting slow, testing carefully, and making sure it's significantly safer than a human driver before full rollout. He emphasized that the safety standard has to be extremely high because even minor incidents with autonomous cars make global headlines, despite thousands of regular car accidents happening daily without any attention. Right now, the only thing holding Tesla back is an excess of caution. Now, if you are one of the poor souls with an older Tesla vehicle running on Hardware 3, we've got an update from Elon on this as well. Owners who subscribe to FSD on a monthly basis will not receive a free upgrade. However, those who have purchased FSD outright will be eligible for a complimentary hardware upgrade. We are personally expecting Tesla to clear it all up in a statement to make sure people know if they should expect an upgrade or not sometime soon, although that also might be a bit too much of us to expect from Tesla. Elon threw in a surprisingly candid comment on the widespread computer replacement. That's going to be painful and difficult, but we'll get it done. Now I'm kind of glad that not that many people bought the FSD package. The shareholders also asked about interest from other automakers towards licensing FSD. Elon says, "We are seeing significant interest from other car companies. We are only going to entertain situations where volume will be very high." We would translate this as Tesla not wanting to deal with small automakers, not at first anyway, due to the complexity of everything in the system, from the camera positions on actual cars to, as Elon mentioned, the engineering teams of both parties working out solutions. According to Tesla, in Q4 2024, they recorded one crash for every 5.94 million miles driven in which drivers were using autopilot technology, their best Q4 numbers ever. This is quite significant compared to the US average of 0.7 million miles. The difference is now measurable enough that Tesla started providing a discount of up to 10% on Tesla insurance for customers who frequently use supervised FSD. This has currently rolled out in Texas and Arizona, and Tesla says that the more you drive with FSD enabled, the bigger the discount is on your insurance premium. Now, there are millions of Tesla owners outside of North America who are anxiously waiting for even a chance to give the FSD, supervised or not, a go. Elon gave us a quite rare insight into what they're currently dealing with in Europe and China. Basically, Europe is a layer cake of bureaucracy and paperwork. Just to get full self-driving approved in the Netherlands, they first have to work through a mountain of paperwork with the Dutch government, and then the Netherlands needs to present the case before the European Union, which won't happen until May. And then, if the EU likes what the Dutch are saying, the case can then move to a bigger committee of EU member nations, and then after basically every nation in Europe signs off on the change, Tesla will be allowed to release FSD in the Netherlands. Now, in China, Tesla is up against a whole other problem. The Chinese are paranoid, so they won't let Tesla export video from Chinese cars to their US-based AI training cluster, but the US aren't much better, and they won't let Tesla build a new training cluster in China, so there's no way to get the data and the training hardware in the same place. The best solution that Tesla has come to so far is to just take a random video of Chinese streets from the internet and feed that into their AI training computer. This is the only way to begin showing the AI what Chinese street signs and traffic symbols look like. Then Tesla has created an accurate virtual simulation of Chinese roads for the AI to practice on, which is a good first step, but it's still not going to capture a lot of the incredibly complex and nuanced details of the Chinese infrastructure. Now, there is one case where Tesla has already solved full self-driving. Tesla has just announced that the new Tesla vehicles from the Fremont factory are now officially driving themselves autonomously. They travel 1.2 miles from General Assembly to their designated loading dock without any human intervention. Yes, the first miles your Tesla drives will now have no one inside. This is also a perfect testing ground for Tesla, as the route can be rather predictable and pre-mapped. Plus, since it takes place on its own compound, Tesla can take all liability if anything does happen. Elon says Tesla is building a third Megapack factory. Tesla says that both Powerwall and Megapack continue to be supply constrained as we open new markets and demand for energy storage products continues to grow. With construction completed, Shanghai Megafactory will begin ramping in Q1. The energy business achieved another record in Q4 with its highest ever gross profit generation. Tesla's Q4 energy storage deployments was 11 gigawatt hours, which is 224% more than in Q4 of 2023. Tesla expects energy storage deployments to grow at least 50% year over year in 2025. Powerwall deployments also achieved another record quarter as Tesla continues to ramp Powerwall 3 production and launch in additional markets. Here is the freshly built Megafactory in Shanghai with Giga Shanghai behind it. Tesla's earnings deck repeated, luckily for us, what they also said in Q3. Plans for new vehicles, including more affordable models, remain on track for start of production in the first half of 2025. These vehicles will utilize aspects of the next generation platform, as well as aspects of our current platforms, and will be produced on the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle lineup. As for what these vehicles are, your guess is as good as mine. Somewhat surprisingly, Elon said they have run up against a battery pack constraint. Quote, "We are working hard to grow our vehicle volumes. Our current constraint is battery packs. We will make progress on addressing the constraint. Things are really going to go ballistic in 2026. Now, on the Tesla Semi, Tesla says the Semi factory construction continued in Q4 and recently completed roof and wall enclosure of the main building area. First truck builds are scheduled to start by the end of 2025, with the ramp beginning in early 2026. Tesla also confirms the Cybercab plans. Our purpose-built robotaxi product, Cybercab, will continue to pursue a revolutionary unboxed manufacturing strategy and is scheduled for volume production starting in 2026. Meanwhile, for the existing product line, Tesla has yet again proved to be the cost king. In Q4, cost of goods sold, or COGS, per vehicle reached its lowest level ever at less than $35,000, driven largely by raw material cost improvement, helping us to partially offset our investment in compelling financing and lease options. In case you've wondered what features any of the new vehicles Tesla is planning to build have, they gave us some breadcrumbs in this image showing what new technologies they plan to carry over to future vehicles from the Cybertruck. If we are talking about a possible minivan in Tesla's lineup, we could easily see several of these making sense, like going 800 volts on the battery pack, obviously, which also brings the peak charge up to the 500 kilowatt range, something that the superchargers can now actually deliver with the new V4 cabinets. We're still unsure if Tesla is able to already go 48 volt in anything other than the Cybertruck, but they seem sure in making it an industry standard sooner or later, and from this chart it seems they already plan some future vehicles using it. With a larger vehicle like a minivan, Tesla would of course go steer-by-wire for several reasons, and this brings the benefit of rear-wheel steering as well. The minivan would have a huge panoramic glass roof, yet stays cool thanks to Tesla's latest advances at novel glass and laminate. Sound isolation is a huge win as well. Talking of the sound system will be freaking amazing because they'll use the vehicle's body structure. One thing we learned from this, on any type of next vehicle, Tesla seems to have abandoned the idea of building anything other than the Cybertruck instinct.